if I just owned Wheaton now?
Thank you, Mia. I do have two very special guests here. I'm very excited by this. This is Ian Telfer of Wheaton River Minerals and Rob McEwen of Goldcorp.
Ian Telfer of Goldcorp.
Of course, that's right, absolutely.
That's right.
I apologize. And basically, I had just finished reading an article in Canadian Business Magazine that called your merger a contentious marriage. Why would someone call it contentious?
It was extremely harmonious. We rushed down the aisle, ran past all the competition.
No, I'd agree with that. I think by contentious they may have meant challenging to consummate, I guess is the right word or wrong word. But yeah, no, so it's been a great marriage, just a great marriage.
It's early days though.
But we've got the stock, the go-to stock in the industry. It's just bulletproof balance sheet and low cost.
Well, we were talking a little bit earlier, and I was saying, you know, this is really something because now you're number 5 in the world as a gold producer, but even more importantly, you're the lowest cost gold producer. I mean, that's really got to give you some clout.
That's right. That's right. Our cash cost this year should be approximately $60 US an ounce, and gold's trading at $435, so we've got the highest margins in the industry.
And you've also got some money in the bank.
Lots. Something approaching 600 US.
That would pay my Visa card off, almost.
Would it?
Yeah. So what are the plans? I mean, I'm not looking for any scoop here or anything, but what are the plans for that kind of cash? Will that be exploration? Will that be acquisitions? Will that be let's sit and wait? What do you think?
Well, I'm only the chairman. This is the CEO.
Course, yes,
he's the guy who has to talk.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, no, well, certainly Wheaton's grown, or now the Goldcorp, but the Wheaton side of it had grown by acquisition over the past few years, and that's worked well for us. So I think you'll see us using some of that cash, or most of that cash, to grow by acquisition going forward.
Right. Now that's interesting. That, I mean, you have different roles to play, and you have played his role in the past. Whatever. How does it feel now to be in this position? I mean,
very good. Very good, and we're on our next phase of development, and Goldcorp's set to outpace all the others now.
Those are fighting words. Is there something about between the two of you on a personal level? Is there obviously there's a respect. I don't know, but I mean, do you like each other's philosophies? Do you like each other's way of going about business? Obviously, you're not going to say no when you're in front of me, but. I mean, no, but I think the point is, you know, for various reasons, you were both courted by different people, and for different reasons you said no, or it didn't happen. This time it did happen. There must have been something that was righter, more correct, or felt better. I
think we both saw an opportunity to create a tremendous company by combining two strong companies and making one that was just a standout in the industry. And we shared that view, and I think in terms of how to go at the market, we're very aligned in our thinking.
And I would agree with that. Both of us had looked and been offered a lot of opportunities.
Right.
But when we...
Maybe against your will sometimes as well.
Sometimes against our will, exactly. But, you know, we both looked at the universe of trying to grow the company, and then when the two companies were lined up, it was sort of shocking. You go, wow, what a great fit that is. And so from that point, it was easy. As far as our personal relationship, we didn't know each other very well at the very beginning of this, but having spent 3 weeks touring together around North America, selling the deal, we got to know each other very well, and we had a fabulous time. We really did. We had many things in common philosophically, business-wise, and personnel-wise, and strategically, and so it was a really fun experience as we got to know each other better, and it was one of these things that the more time we spent together and the more time we spent working on the merger, the better and the better and the better that everything got. It really did. It really did. And I think people could sense that in interviews like this, because that's what they've told us.
And absolutely. I mean, I can just imagine those traveling road shows with the PowerPoint presentation and everything, and all of a sudden you get a couple of people up there who've got track records, but have got the passion. And you can tell. I mean, I can interview people, I look in their eyes. I know when that's not the real story. You see it in your eyes. So what's ahead?
Well, as I said, we'd like to continue growing the company. We've got this hoard of cash, and we've got some ideas, and there are some opportunities, and we're both very bullish on the gold price over the next few years. And so you'll likely see us make a few acquisitions here to continue to grow.
It's great times for miners right now.
Wonderful.
You know, and
Great times.
it kind of goes up and down, but there are certain things that are in place that seem to indicate this could go on for a while. I mean, you hear that every time, of course, but I mean, the demand in China is spectacular, and India is not far behind. Do you think that that we could look for a good stretch run here?
Well, I mean, I'll speak first. Yes, you always hesitate to say this time it's different.
Of course.
But I think we are in for a prolonged period of rising commodity prices, and gold will just be one of those commodities. And it'll be partly due to the U.S. dollar, but I think it'll be a lot to growth in the economy in Asia, India, and China. So I think it'll go for a while, but Rob's the expert on gold. You should get his view.
I think over the next 5-6 years, we're going to see gold test $850 an ounce. So
really?
We'll have a double, triple, quadruple in the share prices from here.
Well, that's a pretty bold statement. I mean, your track record is very impressive. It's not like nobody on the street has just mentioned that. That's really interesting.
We've seen 2 cycles in the last 108 years, and we've entered the third in 01. And they'll tend to be about 12 years long.
Now, are you just, and sorry, I'm a little short on my research. I've done a little bit of research, but are you just gold miners?
Well, at the present time, Rob was 100% gold. Wheaton was 60 to 70% gold. With the 2 companies together now, we're over 80% gold. So yes, we are gold miners.
Does it help to be just in one looking for one mineral? Like, is that an expertise, or could that be expanded into other areas, or would you even want to?
The investment community prefers single commodity stories. If you're a money manager and you decide nickel's going to go up, you want to buy a nickel play. If you think it's copper's going up, you want to buy a copper play. And if you think gold's going up, you want to buy a gold play.
Sure.
The companies that have many metals, they don't have the same leverage
because
to the commodity.
They could be up. One part of their business could be up, and the other part would drag it down.
Exactly.
So you can't.
Exactly.
You can't see how you're going to see the stock price.
That's right. That's right.
Now, a bit of the story about you convincing the shareholders to accept this offer. You must have done something pretty remarkable, or certainly something compelling.
It was a very simple story. We just had to show them that there was more value in the combination of Goldcorp and Wheaton, less risk, and more relevant management. And we would walk into sessions with the institutional investors, and they'd say, "We're voting for Glamis."
Right.
Within an hour, we'd walk out, and they'd say, "We're voting with you. Thanks for coming in." And the value story was so strong, they could see it almost immediately.
Right. And how did you present the value story? What did you show
It was
them?
a PowerPoint flip chart, and I guess I went and I have $100 million invested in Goldcorp personally, and I said,
That's a compelling story.
If Glamis were to win, I've got a sell ticket immediately. But with Wheaton, I saw double, triple, quadruple coming, and you're buying real value. So my money was there to stay for the cycle.
And I mean, if the other scenario hadn't played out, you still weren't going to be hurt too badly. Maybe your feelings, but
I would be liquid. I'd be walking and I'd be looking to invest in Wheaton probably.
The other part of the story,
you might have made a big mistake here.
The other part of the story that was very compelling is, prior to being in the gold mining business, Rob was a money manager.
Right.
So he could sit across the table from these shareholders and say, "Look, let's talk as investors. I was a money manager. You're a money manager. I've got $100 million on the table. You've only got 50. And let me tell you why I'm staying with my 100 on the table." And there's no other CEO in the mining business that can make those kinds of statements.
Right.
They don't have the same background as Rob, and they don't have as much money in the game as Rob. And so that was very, very powerful.
I've had a chance to talk to some financial people, some analysts and whatever, and they all talk about team, which is, everybody talks about team, but they talk about track record. Mm-hmm. I mean, the track record of you two is impeccable.
We both created value for shareholders different ways. Rob discovered it and I bought it, but they both worked out very well for our shareholders.
And I guess that probably says as much as you can possibly say about why this will be an incredible marriage.
It should be.
Because you just, it makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Thank you very, very much.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you very, very much.
Alrighty.
Ian, thank you.
Appreciate it.
I really enjoyed this. Thank you very much. It was
care.
great, and thank you for being on IDNR-TV, because it was great to carry your story further. So thank you very much, and I'm sure there'll be lots more news ahead.
I hope so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, we're back to Mia.
All right, thanks, Rick. Okay, I'm here now with Don Moore. He's the president of Rupert Resources. Thanks for joining us. Now, Rupert Resources, we just spoke to Goldcorp. Rupert Resources is right next to Goldcorp. And what can you